Yo, what's going on, guys? Back at it again with another video. Your boy Mazel the Champ. So here today I'm bringing a little quick guide to the man's Tien, yo. I feel like I need to do this because I've been playing him since season 1, and a lot of people feel like he's not as good as he was. He's kind of underrated in my opinion, because people think that after the double super nerfs he's like ineffective, but I highly disagree. I think he still is pretty good with his damage output. He has some of the solo highest damage output in the game with assist or not assist if you have like a lot of bar. And then he can also like just open the opponent up. A lot of ways to open up the opponent. Command grab, tons of overheads. So in this one, I'm gonna just explain the reasons as to why I think he's still pretty good. I think he's A tier. I think he's A tier, A plus tier depending on the team, but I definitely think he's A tier. And you know, sometimes A plus with the right team. But yeah, I'm gonna break it down. In-depth guide, frames, safe overheads, all that. Let's go. Starting off with his pros, he has a pretty good amount. Just looking at the stuff that I wrote down, great normals. His 5M is pretty good for the button that it is. Space control, he has a beam on the ground and in the air, which is always a good thing to have. It's a plus actually. He can beam into vanish since he does have a beam, so you can do a true block string without getting it reflected. It's good if somebody wants to play keep away. Good to H is really reliable, gets the job done. It has great horizontal and great vertical hitbox. One of the best stagger characters in the game. Tien staggers are like really underrated in the fact that he can use all of his buttons. His whole auto combo is a safe string. Whether you hit 1, 2, or 3, it's all a safe string. Multiple overheads, you know. It's not nerfed like Gotenks. So his multiple overheads do hit multiple times, meaning you have to block high on them. Excellent meter dump. If you have meter with Tien, like say your first character comes in, he dies, now it's Tien with like 5 bars, you can actually do like 6k like off of a light, like no joke. Sometimes 7 too. Solid corner damage. If you use his volleyball fist and extend it off of 2M, you can do like a solid 8k, like no joke. Tien has really good corner damage. That's underrated. CHAIOTZU level 3. CHAIOTZU's level 3 is pre-Bardock nerf. Season 1 pre-Bardock nerf. So that speaks of itself right there. The plus frames he gets from CHAIOTZU after a knockdown, 23 plus frames. Incredible. Trying to take a Dragon Rush from that is like really hard. He has a command grab, which is always a good thing to have. Opens the opponent up for free. Highest scaled level 1 in the game. His level 1 always does 10%. 10% to him and 10% to his opponent. Great assist, so solid mid. His assist is super easy to combo off to. Level 2 does 1400 scaled, so if you need the extra little to kill a character, he can definitely do it. He has multiple ways to open up the opponent between his volleyball and his crane strike, having to block between the high and the low. It's pretty amazing. He has a 24 frame overhead in the crane strike EX, which is pretty amazing. It's pretty fast too, so if you're not ready, you can actually get hit by this pretty often, funny enough. He has a safe beam. Tien is one of the few characters in this game that actually has a safe beam. If you use Dodon Ray in the corner, you can actually block after it, unlike characters like Super Saiyan Goku or Goku Black. I think maybe even Broly too. But yeah, he's one of the few characters who has a safe beam, which is always a good thing to have. Tien is one of the few characters who has a safe tag out on his auto combo. You can actually auto combo with Tien and get a safe tag out with your character, which is a blessing, because there's only 2 characters I know, Yamcha and him, that can do that, which is amazing. Now for his cons, he has predictable mix-ups, meaning that if you only go for his crane strike and never like mix it up or stagger, volleyball fist, none of that, like you're bound to get hit and mashed on. Can get 2-edged out of his crane strike, so it just goes back to like the first kind of con. You keep going for the same stuff, they will 2-H you. His crane strike is not head invulnerable. He hurts himself, which is the big one everybody knows. You know, Tien does 10% to him unrecoverable health. The another thing that's bad about Tien is that he's key blast. He doesn't have multiple key blasts like SJ Goku, and it kind of sucks because he can get outzoned by other characters like Frieza and SJ Goku or Vegeta, because he doesn't really have that approach weapon. You know, his beam is cool, but it has a lot of startup. His air key blast is actually suspect. It lacks versatility because you float in the air, which is dangerous. He needs meter to shine. To really get Tien going is really good if you have meter, so you can really pump out his damage. It's not necessary, but I mean, if you have meter, well, not necessarily. If you don't have meter, then it's kind of like rough. His beam is high commitment, so if you whiff that, say goodbye to 50% of your health. If you have any more that you can think of, just let me know. But Tien is kind of like simple in the way he plays, meaning that it's not too complicated. Like, it's not super advanced, but it is kind of just like keep away, really neutral based character. CHAIOTZU is Tien's best tool, which lets him get 23 plus frames, meaning Tien, Bardock, Trunks, and Cooler are the only characters who can get plus frames without having to spend any additional bar, unlike Gotenks. He also can confirm it anywhere on screen with a super dash, his volleyball fist, M starter, or a beam. He can also confirm with a vanish too, but the timing is difficult. For the most part with CHAIOTZU, you want to be using him after a soft knockdown. It gives you plus frames and gives you the advantage to go for his multiple overhead opportunity and mix it in with his command grab as well. CHAIOTZU does lose, however, to wake up level 3 and reflect, but reflect can get baited if you slightly delay it and then punish it accordingly when they whiff it. CHAIOTZU is best used for up techs, because when they up tech, you get like the true 50-50 block string with an assist. Combine that with his command grabs, oh yeah, he's on the road. One extra note is that CHAIOTZU is a true block string on vanish, so it's a true gel, they can't reflect it. Tien's buttons are one of the best in the game. Do not challenge him when it comes to the staggers. This boy will destroy your life. Tien has every single one of his buttons on his auto combo are safe. Every single string is safe. Meaning that trying to challenge Tien while he's staggering to get his assist back is not good, because you're most likely gonna get hit. And now you get hit with a medium starter. Tien's only unsafe button is his 2M and his 5H, but his 5M is safe. This gives you the opportunity to go for cheeky stuff like a safe string into reflect and then a combo in the corner. His volleyball fist light and medium are also both safe. Combine this all with his crane strike, staggers, and volleyball fist high lows, then he's pretty OD when it comes to staggers and buttons. As everyone knows, Tien does an unrecoverable 10% to him, but also his opponent, and thanks to the Season 2 buffs, he barely loses any health, even when you do his level 7. The same goes for his level 2 as well, so with his level 1, 2, and 3, he always gonna lose 10%, it's never more or less. Tien can take out a chunk of an opponent's health just with one of his supers, so if you combine that with his level 3 as well, or just his level 2, let's say with a high damaging super on top of that, that just stacks on damage. Tien's damage output in the corner or mid screen is absolutely insane, dealing from 6k to 9.5k. So he can definitely take care of the job if he's by himself or if you have an assistant combo with it. His volleyball fist is unique in the way that it scales. If you started off with an L starter, it won't do no damage, but if you start his volleyball fist with an M and continue it with 2 extra bars, it'll do a lot of damage, even greater than Super Saiyan Goku's medium starter combo. It can also be confirmed mid-screen too with an assist like Tien Gohan, so hard assist like Vegeta, GT Goku has it easier. Even with only 2 bars, Tien can still dish out a super massive amount of damage, so overall, use him with his volleyball fist and he does exponential work. Tien also has re-jump combos in the corner, and you can get a sliding knockdown anywhere on screen if you spend a bar in his volleyball fist sequel. Tien's tri-beam is also a safe jump, so you can use it after sliding knockdown for some setups. It can stop reverse level 3s, up tech or forward tech, and down 2Hs. CHAIOTZU OKIZEME is one of a kind. It's GT Goku and Bardock before his nerfs, so in essence, it speaks of itself. You can do amazing, ridiculous mix-ups with it. CHAIOTZU is also guaranteed to hit on vanish on ground, and in mid-air, if they have no bar to cancel that action, you can punish it. Tien's 2L is also long enough for you to do super dash 50-50s with it in the corner, so that's also a plus. He also still has a solo TOD, so you can always use that when it comes in handy. In my opinion, I believe Tien belongs in the mid position because of the reasons that with an assist, he really is OD with his CHAIOTZU, and then mix it in with his command grab, and then just add to the fact that he can do more damage with an assist on top of that. His game plan is just to play the neutral and just to force you to come to him. He doesn't really have to force his way or situation because he can play that slow neutral. He has a beam, he has CHAIOTZU, which can jail you into a vanish. He has great normal, so he can hit you air to air pretty solidly. So he just wants to play that slow mid-range game. You can put him in the anchor and he'll work. The only issue I have with that is if you don't have spark, and then especially in this current meta where you spark to keep your whole team alive, it's gonna be kind of rough to make that comeback because you're gonna lose a lot of health doing it. That's all I think of for Tien. He's solid, opens the opponent up, pretty decent. So yeah, just wish GT Goku wasn't so damn broken so people could play different characters, but if you're brave enough, then hey, be my guest and pick him up. Thanks for watching.